In this second episode, we're looking at how Crash Nitro Fueled compares to Crash Team Racing. Nitro Fueled is something I sorely missed on the PC, and I had to make do with the Switch version of the game, as that's the only console that I actually own, and it has obnoxiously long loading screens. As the game is about 75% the same, however, we're going to focus on the 25% differences between the two games, so we won't be touching on the storyline at all, as that is exactly the same. First up, we're going to talk about the cast. The cast encompasses nearly every single Crash character in existence, and even extends to some Crash adjacent characters such as Spyro the Dragon. It even has some new characters made just for this game, but it weirdly does have some noticeable absentees, particularly from the Twinsanity and Tag Team Racing worlds, such as the Evil Twins, Mad and Amberly, Evil Crash and Willy Wumper. But that aside, they really hit the mark with the cast in my opinion. It's huge, and you have skins to further juice up characters and karts alike. Speaking of karts, you have the same classes of turn, acceleration, speed, balance, and they all behave similarly to how they did in the original. But we also have a new class too in Drift, which slows the rate at which boost reserves deplete, something that's really handy for scrubs like me who can't keep flame for toffee. Unlike the OG, you can use any engine on any character. It does make characters feel a little bit less unique to choose in that regard, but it does make sense given that turn characters like Pola, Pora and Roo are basically unplayable for some legit in-game challenges, such as Dev Ghosts. Speaking of ghosts, we still have to defeat Tropy and Oxide, but we now also have Velo and Dev Ghosts too. Some Dev Ghosts are actually impossible for turn characters, even by proper speedrunners, further cementing the necessity to have free engine swaps. At the time of writing, I have beaten all of the Tropy Ghosts, 4 Oxide Ghosts and 1 Velo Ghost, but William P and his dev entourage still elude me.
William P, it's lap 3, and I demand you to get back here.
They really went above and beyond with the tracks too. We have the original 16 tracks all beautifully remastered, and the battle arenas as well, but we also have all of the Crash Nitro Kart tracks included, and even some brand new tracks for a real content-rich game. The most notable difference for hardcore OG players will be the handling and driving mechanics. While it still clearly is reminiscent of the OG controls, they have been adapted for modern day kart racers. And even though I'm better at the original CTR than the new one, I think that it does actually control better. I'm just terrible at it. Blue Flame somewhat replaces Ultra Sacred Fire as a mechanic for achieving maximum speed, and to really take advantage of all this game has to offer, you're going to have to master holding this Blue Flame speed on most tracks most of the time, or risk hearing those damn famous words,
"No drift, you twat! No, flame, not now!" And the blue flame's gone and I can't be asked.
So it's mainly been positives so far. Are there any negatives? Well, 2. Online and load times. More so for Switch for the load times. The load times for Switch equate to about a 40-second wait time for a 3-minute race. This really stifles your enjoyment and the flow of the game. I'm sure it's decently faster on the PS5 and even the PS4, but for Switch it's not very good. For online mode, it felt tacked on, which is a shame as out of all of the things I was most excited to try, and in my opinion would have the highest potential to expand the range of the game, would be the online mode. My dream scenario was having single races for quickies or pre-races for a mini tournament scenario, and having a ranking system so that you are paired with players of a similar skill level to. Because what you will realize really quickly is that the only people who are still playing Nitro Fueled online to this day are people that play it daily or at the very least weekly, and they will lap you in a heartbeat as a new player. And don't count on the items really being of much help to you, as discussed in the previous video. I can only imagine any new player picking up this game and trying online that they will very quickly be deterred from bothering with online. It's great for hyper-invested players but terrible for broad appeal, which a ranking system could have really taken steps towards helping. I've showed several friends Nitro Fueled in real life, and after 3 or 4 races they've all said the same thing. Can we just play Mario Kart instead? Because what they really want in a kart racer is something that's really easy to pick up but still be competitive with. I'm never ever going to suggest that CTR should ever become like Mario, as that would actually just completely ruin the idea behind it. But if there ever was a future iteration of this style of kart racing game, they need to work on their online modes to give newer players a chance to become immersed and to gradually build up their skill as they move up the ranks. For the final verdict, I'm going to take off my crystal tinted glasses and admit that despite me being personally better at the OG CTR game, Nitro Fueled, in my opinion, is a superior game in almost every way. That might be a controversial opinion, but again, I'm looking at it from me now, not me when I was 10 years old. The next kart racing game that I'm going to be looking at will take a break from the Crash series, but I will come back to it. I'll also save the Mario games for a little bit later too. I'm going to be looking at a kart racer I've been playing recently called Nickelodeon Racers 2 while it's still fresh in my memory, and then I'll start with an entry for Mario Kart with Mario 64. And again, it is important for me to reiterate this. I am not putting on nostalgia glasses in any of these reviews. I'm comparing the games as they are now to how they compare with other games now. I'm not holding modern games to the standards of the past. I'm holding retro games to the standards of now and how well this game operates as a kart racer in today's world. So if you look at my tier list right now, you'll see CTR Nitro Fueled, and then below it you'll see CTR Original. Both fantastic games, both amazing games, both hold up really well today. Just in my opinion, Nitro Fueled has the edge because of all the extra content that comes with it. So thank you very much for watching, and see you on the next kart racing rank review.